was probably partying out on the bridge and didn't have any responsibility in my life at all. But that's the age of Kathy when she became an instant mother to myself and my brothers, Don and Jeff. Kathy had just married her father and was settling into married life when she received a call that if she wanted, she could come and pick my two brothers and I up, that my biological mother could not care for us. We'd been living in a foster home for 3 years. The story goes that Kathy called her mother and asked Will's advice as to what she should do. Will told her that Kathy would know the right thing to do. Well, without hesitation, we were scooped up and we became part of her family.
My memory of life in general before Kathy arrived on the scene was one of real misery. At the end of the 3rd year of living with them, I had pretty much given up when returning to my dad again. And then one early summer morning, Kathy, whom we had already met and liked very much, and my dad showed up. Maybe the most important, definitely, I'm sorry, maybe the most important and definitely, maybe the most important and definitely one of the happiest days of my life came out of the blue. Dad and Kathy showed up unexpectedly. We packed the car, drove off. Oh, apprehensive and excited. I don't know. Okay, excited. Questions on the way to classical were numerous, even though what was going on. My new family made me feel like I was part of the very first day we met. Okay, thanks. Very first day. Oh, and it even came with kids our own age, with Robin and Jeff Torbox, which was a pretty cool thing. The ranch to explore, the hike, fish, play. We had entered a wonderland. All this came with a wonderful, beautiful new mom. I think I sensed this was also some great experiment for everyone involved. Looking back on it, it was a very successful one. For the 3 of us, I think our childhood had just entered spring. For me, Kathy was a shining sun.
We went from a world that a trip to church or a bus ride to school was our only activity to an early life filled with weekends at the ranch in Placerville. Hiking, camping, swimming, the ballet, the symphony, numerous Girl Scout songs, musicals, political rallies, and most importantly, belonging to a home where we felt safe and loved. We were taught how to hike properly downhill, how to identify poison oak, the difference between a Doug fir and a silvertip, how to sleep out under the stars, never ever chase a bear, and how to make s'mores and how to select a willow branch to roast marshmallows. On the home front, I learned how to be a proper Dutch girl, although I was not Dutch. This included how to iron my father's shirt, yoke, collar, sleeves first, wash the dishes in the correct order, load the dishwasher, clean the bathroom in the correct order, dust and vacuum. The Dutch rule was work first, play later, and don't whine.
There were hundreds, maybe thousands of memories to try and conjure up, but for the sake of time, I have to generalize. I remember 2 different epics, Rosemont, where we lived, which is Rosemont in Sacramento here, and Shelter Court in Danville. Kathy guided us in what seemed to me an effortless way through our formative years. many times with more concern than I had myself through the different challenges. We laughed, cried, and sometimes fought. She taught us all ways of enjoying the outdoors, camping, hiking, identifying trees, wildflowers, skiing. I could go on and on. She was instrumental in all facets of our young life. We experienced the additions of Matt and Todd. She taught us many lessons. She taught us many lessons to use many years later with our own children. I didn't know Kathy, the psychologist, very well, other than she was very good. I do know Kathy was Kathy was a nurturer, that she was always, and she was an awesome nurturer.
I'm sorry. Reading your writing. I'll end with this. As I stood in the hallway at the hospital the day before bringing Kathy home to the ranch in early December, the hospital chaplains came out into the hallway and asked me gently if we were a blended family. Kathy would have had a big laugh at that question.
David's right, these things come in handy.